Welcome to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports, where husky middle-aged men share insight on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports. I'm not sure, John, why I can't see anything on the screen. I do not like this new setup on this system. Just thought I'd share with everybody. There's like this giant pause between saying, "Hey, everyone, good to see you," and "Oh, yep, not, nope, yep, not." Okay, good, we're back. Here we go. So internal problems, but if I have to go through it, so do all of you out there in listening land. So, fellas, Jason, John, Mike here on a Tuesday evening. I believe this is going to be our new evening of recording on Tuesdays, on Fridays for the fantasy football show, and on Saturdays for the original Dad Bod shows. If I am wrong, I apologize, but I think that is what we're going with for now. Times may change, but days will be the same. Fellas, what's going on? Mike, how you have returned from vacation? How's life? You're not in the bathroom anymore.
No, yeah, I mean, it was kind of convenient before. I guess it's a little less convenient now. I have to walk to the bathroom if I have to go, but I bet that the fans are probably happy to see me outside of the restroom. Um, I had to go back to work in the summer, which is weird because I have this new job where I have to work in the summer. So it was a little bit of a more of a shock to my system than coming home from vacation has been in the past. But I know, Jason, you don't like that big pause. But you know what I love? The countdown, the 5 second countdown, where you can go five, four, and then we three, two, one. Do you guys? It reminds me of Wayne's World. Do you guys remember the movie Wayne's World?
Oh God.
where Wayne and Garth are counting down and like they keep lipping the numbers and then their heads are bobbing and they're like, guys, you got to stop. You got to stop. And they can't help it. And that's what I do every time I count down the episode as we get ready to start. So it gives me something to do.
Gunner just went
Outstanding.
yard. Gunner just went yard.
Yes.
So John has Tourette's, and he just Gunner guess what yard? Gunner, it's like a freaking parrot. Why don't you elaborate on what the hell you're doing over there? I'll let you have the floor for a couple minutes. Go ahead,
Well,
John.
I'm watching the Orioles game in the first inning. It's a good way to start the game. We had Pete hit a home run, 2-run homer in the first inning, and then Gunner just took a change up middle in and launched it over the right field wall. So Orioles are now up 4-0 in the
Oh, that's
top of the
outstanding.
second inning.
And who's on the mound this evening?
Young.
Brandon Young.
And then
Outstanding.
and then I just saw the guy for the Twins is the uh, slowest pitcher by velocity of anyone in the big leagues at like 88.9 miles an hour. So
Who's pitching for them this evening?
Ober,
Bailey Ober, I
Bailey
think.
Ober. Well,
Yeah.
that wasn't always the case. He, yeah, that was one of the things. His velocity was down significantly. It has been year to year, but he was actually pretty decent pitcher over the last few years. But taking a step back recently. Well, that's fantastic. Would like to see the birds jump on him here and try to make things interesting here in Birdland. Um, yeah, I mean, not a whole lot going on here. We're getting ready. My daughter is going back to school tomorrow. School starts here in St. Pete area. Our last ever first day of school. So after this year, my daughter will be homeschooling. So this is it for us, guys. No more having to worry about summer break ending and all that nonsense and stuff. This is it. I don't know how to feel. I don't know what to do with my hands. I really don't. It's pretty exciting, but our last year of official in school stuff. So we're trying to rally the troops here, earlier bedtimes, all that stuff. Don't like to see summer end, guys. It's not exciting. Like I already don't sleep very much anyway, but now I definitely have to try to sleep more than my less amount or something along those lines. I'm not really sure. Um,
speaking of
all
sleep,
right.
Jason, my daughter got is trying to get on the I don't know what they call it. Like we call it student government. I know they call it something else. But
Okay.
she's trying to be on like student government for her school. So I usually go to the gym at 5:30 and I come back at 7:15 and then get ready, blah blah blah. Well, she's got to be at school at 7:15. So on the days that she has the student government thing, I have to wake up at 4 so that I have enough time at the gym. So I've been up at 4 since 4 a.m. this morning.
Oh wow, that's outstanding. And is this
That
like an everyday thing or just a couple days a week?
one day a week is at for the time being at 4 a.m.
Oh
But
my
every other
goodness.
day I get up at 5.
Ooh, I know. My humble dad, a little while back, was at my daughter's the president of student or not student government association, but the what does she do? What is that thing?
Student
Cece-
council?
no, Cecilia just got in that mic. What did you?
Oh,
I can't
National
remember.
Junior Honor Society.
National
Yeah.
Junior Honor Society. So she is the president. So we like once every couple weeks or whatever we have to leave here, and we're like 45 minutes from the school, so she has to be there at like 7:30. So we have a couple early days of our for ourselves as well.
John, are you like the campaign manager for your daughter for this thing? Like, do you got signs you're putting around on the lawns and things like that?
Yeah, she already said that if she's elected, they'll have ice cream every day at lunch. Everything will be free. The water fountains will spew out Coca-Cola instead of water. You know, the typical things. You know.
Wow.
Now if our
Wow.
politicians would put Coca-Cola in the water fountains, that would be outstanding. Or free ice cream every day, that would be our dad
Right. That.
bods. We could work on those.
Oh wow. Oh my. Well, good for you, John. You go ahead and try to get that passed. That sounds great. All right. So we have a lot to get to this evening. We are going to talk about the Ravens, the most recent injury scare, or maybe just reality to it. The Orioles, you'll get updates on how things are going. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball playoffs coming into shape a little bit, and much, much more. So I'm going to kick it off though with you guys. I want to do the dad bod question of the day. So dad bod question of the day is, even though everything is in my life is kind of on the healthier side, we don't do a lot of processed stuff. We still like comfort food. Comfort food's a big one. So we have now turned all of our comfort food just is a lot healthier. We've kind of put a twist on it. So I want to know from you guys, what is your favorite comfort food? And John, I'll let you go first.
Well, it kind of depends on what I'm feeling like. You know,
That's the whole point of comfort food, John.
yeah, well, but I mean, like if I'm feeling like healthy, like if I'm feeling like a healthy comfort food, I nothing is better than a celery with some peanut butter on it.
So that's not a comfort food.
It
That
is.
is
It's
not a comfort
it's a
food.
good comfort food.
That is a
But
healthy
then fried,
snack.
like fried chicken
You can make fried
with
chicken healthy.
JoJo's.
Okay, I don't know what JoJo's is. Is that some sort of sauce?
No, well, you call them different things. They're like the potato wedges, but there's a difference between
Oh.
JoJo's and potato wedges.
Wait, potato wedges have a name?
Potato
I
wedges.
guess.
What they call them Western fries.
JoJo's.
They call them Western fries at Royal
Yeah.
Farms, right?
yeah. Royal Farms is Western Fry. Yeah, but it has all kinds of different names. But then also those hush puppies, those deep fried dough
Mhm.
balls.
Those are
Oh,
good.
Goodness.
You're a deep fried dough ball. All right, Mike.
Those are awesome.
It's your turn, Mike.
This is, I mean, it's sad, but I look forward to food all the time. I was just telling Julie, we went for a walk tonight in the neighborhood, and I'm like, I'm not addicted to drugs or alcohol, but like I am incredibly addicted to food, like in a way in which it comforts me way too much. But yeah, I get home and I'm like, man, I could just go for something. And usually in the evening after dinner, it's a bowl of vanilla ice cream. And it doesn't have to be like a huge thing, but like a dish of vanilla ice cream. But there's nothing more satisfying than the whipped cream that I like on top of it, where you spray it right into your mouth. Because forget about the ice cream, just spray it right in there. And I know it's probably not healthy. Don't spray aerosols in your mouth, kids.
Oh God.
Yeah, if you're listening out there, not the most healthy habit. And then we on vacation, we had the kids like put a little bit on their hand and then hit their arm and try to catch it in their mouth. Have you ever done that with the whipped cream? Lots of fun. Yeah, it's a snack and
Jason
entertainment.
makes all this at home by himself, don't you, Jason?
We do. We make whipped cream. I think, Mike, you experienced that.
Yeah,
We
it was good.
actually have the metal whipped cream container, and it's
Yeah.
really all you take is whipping cream. You can get organic whipping cream, and you take it, you put it in there, you add a little bit of vanilla, and then you add just a little bit of powdered sugar, and all of it is like it's 100% cane sugar, so it's not any of the processed stuff. So you put it in there, and then we have a CO2 cartridge that goes onto the metal thing, and you give it like 2 good shakes. Then you put the CO2 cartridge in, you turn it completely upside down, and it's homemade whipped cream, and it tastes fresh and delicious. And it
Nice.
doesn't taste like you're sucking in a
Well,
bunch of poison air.
yeah, I do that. The morning the, the morning comfort food for me, like if I wake up and I feel like I need something to make me feel better, and this is awful. This is completely horrible. Store-bought blueberry muffins. Like the bigger ones that you got to cut into pieces. Like I usually cut them in half. But like if I just have half a blueberry muffin on the way to work, I just have a better day. It's
All
true.
right. That's fantastic.
Yeah, biscuits
What about
and
you,
gravy.
Jay?
Biscuits and
Oh,
gravy,
gosh.
Mike. That's the
That's a good
best
one, too.
breakfast. Yeah.
We just made that. We just made that today. Again, the healthier version of biscuits and gravy. Delicious. Sourdough biscuits. Great stuff. Um, I am a sucker for fried chicken and also for meatloaf. Those are my two, and I don't know who wins over the two. If I was at a diner or something, I'd probably order them both, and then take one home and eat the next one, and probably eat the fried chicken at the diner because the fried chicken is crispier right then and there. That is, I have mastered out to make it healthier with certain flours and stuff. It is delicious. I love it. So that is my dad bod question of the day. Please share on our Facebook page or in the chat here what your favorite comfort food is. I want to know. These dad bods did not get here overnight. This is a long, long time worth of comfort food.
Hey, Jason, why don't you tell the folks who we're brought to you by now?
Oh yeah, we should probably.
I
do
want to
that.
see how you do this.
Okay, so we are brought to you now. We are lucky enough to be brought to you by the Spark Podcast Network. Bam, hit it that time, got it right. But yes, so you can find us in all kinds of different places still with all of your, wherever you like get your podcast, you'll find us. But you can also find us on the Spark Podcast Network. They have a website as well. So check us out in all different kinds of places. Soon we'll have ads and other things we'll have to worry about. But for the time being, we do not. All right. So, boys, let's dive right into it. We're going to start with the Ravens tonight. Scary, scary thing in practice today. The one thing I was worried about happening may have happened. It looks like, and I don't have any other information on it, so maybe you guys can fill me in. But Nate Wiggins, cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens, suffered a lower leg injury. I'm hoping it's lower than the knee. That's all I got to say. And I hope it's not a long-term thing, but I don't know. And I hope it's not the Achilles. However, that's about all I know about it, Mike. John, does either one of you guys have any further reports on these?
There's no structural damage according to Ian Rappaport. It just it doesn't say what it was. It just says no structural damage for Nate Wiggins.
Oh boy.
That's what I saw as well. His legs got tangled up, and he went down, and they carted him off. So there wasn't I think X-rays were negative. I don't know. Are they doing MRI, or did they already do one?
I would assume they did. I don't know if they've released the findings yet, but
yeah, I don't know how they would know other than an MRI that there was no structural damage.
Well, structural is different than ligaments and stuff, right? I mean, I would assume, right? Because
let's ask ChatGPT.
Oh, good.
I think structural has to do with ligaments and tendons and everything being kind of in place.
I just wonder how deep of a dive you can do.
So structural damage to the leg generally means an injury or abnormality involving the actual physical structures of the leg, rather than temporary soreness or inflammation. Fractures, stress fractures, etc. Ligaments torn or stretched. Tendons torn or stretched. Muscles, significant tears. Blah blah blah. So
yeah, when I think structure, I first think of bones. So that's good that ligaments are cleared on that too. So that's much happier times. Well, hopefully, I know we were talking about possible fallout on that. I have no idea what they. I know that they're thin beyond him. There's a couple intriguing options after that, but I would think if he is going to miss any significant time, Mike, that they would need to make a move outside the organization.
I just think the uncertainty surrounding Marlon Humphrey and how well he's going to play makes it very clear that you would have to at least make a depth move. After watching Awuzie play last year, I have a little bit of faith in him to kind of step up and fill in. Um, but Awuzie and Humphrey on the field for the majority of the time scares the heck out of me. So I think I don't know, John, Jason, if you looked around at what kind of players are still out there, on the open market, or if there's some guys floating around that might fit the Ravens mold. But I know that Jesse Minter said that, if something were to have happened to him, it does change. It's significant. Like, he was not mixing words. He said this guy is a top tier corner. Like, you have to change what you do based on this guy being out. And I appreciated that honesty. He wasn't just like, next man up, we're gonna do the same exact thing, because that's not the reality of the situation. So it was kind of cool to hear him speak the truth, I would say.
Right.
It
And
looks
I
like
do think that, hold on one second, John. I do think that regardless of what happens there, the one thing that this year's team could possibly, and at least I'm hoping and thinking they have going for them, is a much better pass rush, which takes a little bit of pressure off of the corner position. Now you don't have to cover guys for 4 or 5 or however many seconds, right? Like, it's much less now if you're able to put pressure on the quarterback and whatnot, which is also a key. Go ahead, John.
so. We got Diggs, Marshawn Lattimore, Jalen Armour Davis are still sitting out there somewhere. The Trayvon Diggs, I don't know when that one was updated, but no, Trayvon Diggs is the one that I'm seeing. Ronald Darby.
He was already a Raven at one point.
No, hang on. Did I look at the wrong one? It says 10 free agent cornerbacks still out there, but when is this from? I don't know when this is from, but no, Diggs is the big one sitting out there on the market.
It's
So,
not big. It's overrated.
well,
If he was still that good, he got
he's
picked
the
up.
biggest. He's only 27. He's the biggest name that's still sitting there.
So the one thing with all of this too is, and Mike, I know we talked about this too. It's like, who's going to fit in the scheme of this coaching staff and what you're looking for. It's, I mean, I know they've been happy with Martin. You have Marlon Humphrey. There's just not a whole lot after there that would have to play. So hopefully we're just talking about all of this for nothing. But they do need depth at cornerback. But like Jesse Minter said, you would be replacing your best player at that position, which is a huge problem for anyone.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you. He's a shutdown corner. Like, I mean, it's a shutdown corner. So you would have to change your strategy, because you can't just go one on one with Awuzie all day long. Like, you have to bring somebody, and you have to change to do more zone type, coverage and roll safeties over the top. The one thing I would say is I think we're pretty deep at safety. So if we have to have more safeties on the field, I feel a little better this year than I did in previous years. I really like the signing of the Patriots. What's his name, Jason? The Patriots guy,
Oh
Hawkins.
man, yeah, Hawkins. That was
Yeah, I
actually one of
like
my
him.
most underrated signings I think they've made.
Yeah, I mean, so you appreciate him too, and I feel like he gives them depth, because I don't know that Starks was just your true over the top guy either, because I think he has a little bit of hybrid in him as well, and Hamilton obviously has some hybrid spaces in him. I'm just hoping Minter is able to use each player to their abilities and allow them to move around a little bit, and I think a lot of that will help the Ravens in situational defense this year, because I think he's going to put people in the right spots. But when you lose a shutdown corner, man, that limits a lot of what you can do or what you wanted to do rolling into it, right? Uh-oh, John's got the bird call up, so something good must have happened.
Encarnacion Strand just went yard.
Any details, John? Like
Took a middle in fastball, took it right over the
like a
left
2-run
center
homer
field.
or a 3-run homer.
Just a
Jason,
solo shot.
the ball went
Solo
over the
shot.
fence.
Good
Yeah.
God, how many more times are you going to tell me it was a home run without saying it was a home run, John? Good God.
Well, and the TJ Tampa, Kevin Ostreicher was talking about it this morning in Locked On Ravens, how there's teams who are calling the Ravens about Tampa, and now they're saying, Tampa is better than Awuzie out there, but nobody's getting him
Better than who? Who, John?
then
boy.
Did you call him a Rousier?
Yeah.
Micah
I call him-
Ruzioni?
Yeah, that's what I
I mean,
called him.
I'm having a little bourbon and Coke right now, but I'm not a Rousier, and so I'm a little worried about what you got going on over there.
Oh my
And
God.
Tampa. If anybody knows about Tampa, it's you and Jason. I have way less to know about that than you guys
Wow.
do.
Oh my gosh. Let it begin. Yeah, look, I mean, I wouldn't give up any depth, guys. I would not. It is so like, do you know what happens when the NFL season starts? A lot of hitting. You know that so anyone that goes into the season injured usually gets more injured. You don't get healthier as the season starts.
No.
So let's hold on to as much depth as we have. But I mean, DeCosta is that type of guy that likes to wheel and deal for players he thinks he can get a lot for. Don't trade from too much depth is all I would hit that. Okay, speaking of depth, a position that I do think there's a lot of depth at, and that is the wide receiver position. And we're going to talk about tonight, pardon me, how we think this is going to fall out and where these guys, I mean, some of these rookies are playing extremely well so far, good showings in training camp. But I want to know, John, what is it going to look like? Give me the top 5 receivers on this roster in that particular order.
Well, I assuming Zay's injury is just a
We're
bad
going to
bruise.
assume that Zay Flowers is going to play for this exercise.
Okay.
Not
So
injured.
if Zay Flowers is 100% healthy, then obviously it's Flowers, it's Bateman, it's it's Tez Walker, it's I think then the after those 3, then you're going to start getting to either any mixture of the rookies and DeJounte Wester are going to kind of be in that 4, 5, and 6 spot. And then if we keep 7, then it's kind of, whoever's going to be there at the end. But I think your top 3 are set in stone. They're Flowers, they're Bateman, and they're Tez Walker. And then the other 3 are kind of who's going to show up and who's going to be out there.
So I think by depth chart wise, I would agree on the top 3, except once the games start and they start having guys line up in the slot and different things. I mean, it like Zay, I don't know if they're going to move him around, if they're going to move Bateman in the slot and whatnot, because that's where Surratt comes in to play for me, where I'm saying, okay, like he's a good slot guy. Lane can play on the outside really well too, and he's that bigger body. So between I mean, I would have to say, like right now, if they're going to come out, I think Walker would get the nod as the third receiver. But I don't know what that means, guys. Like, I don't know, like, if it really makes a difference. I have Lane slightly ahead of Surratt right now because he's just been the talk of camp and everything. And if everything kind of transfers over the way that we're seeing it now, this is going to be a very exciting year. And he may work himself into that to 3-ish wide receiver with Bateman, but I'm still real high on Bateman this year as far as having a good year.
Yeah, for me, I was kind of thinking about this question like down the road too, like in the future, like what does that look like in their careers? Like which of these guys has the highest ceiling? But in this season, I would like to say I think Bateman might be trade Bateman. Like I don't know, like at some point this year he might become expendable because if Surratt and if Lane play the way they've been playing in training camp and they are both the real deal, I think you could see Lane on the outside. You could see, I mean, Flowers can play anywhere. He can be like anywhere in the slot. He can go outside. He can run across the middle. I think you've got, like you said, Surratt plays well in the slot. You got a lot of options there. And then Tez Walker can stretch the field. He showed he could do that last year. And he's a decent route runner. He's getting better at running routes. So if you have that depth and you're healthy, you may think about that. That's something that might be a possibility in the future. To me, I really like for the future. I think the best of all of them is probably going to be Surratt. I think he's going to be Steady Eddie. I just think he's going to be like a Keenan Allen type to me. I think Lane has the capability to be a high-end wide receiver number 2. I think he's going to be really good. So if those guys are better than Bateman at some point, I think you might see him walk.
I mean, I kind of go back to what I said about the cornerback position, where it's like I wouldn't trade from the depth positions just yet. I'd let
Not
this
yet.
thing play out, right? It's like you. I mean, you might be right, Mike. Going down the road, if we're looking down the road, I would like nothing more than to see one being Flowers, two being Lane, 2A being Surratt, something along those lines, and then Walker in there as well. I guess to be honest, I think the question mark's more on Walker. Not is he going to perform, but how high can he perform? Because it's, I mean, I believe it was a fourth round draft pick, and that's, I mean, what you got out of him last year is a pretty good return for one season off a fourth round pick. So if nothing else happens from it, that's okay, according to how the NFL works. But you've seen him be very useful in a lot of situations. So, I mean, I'm excited about the wide receiver position as long as everyone stays healthy. Um, I mean, this year and going forward. Go ahead, Mike.
Do you which of those receivers, any of the ones in camp right now, does any of them have the capability to be better than Zay Flowers? Down the road. I'm
Better?
not talking about this minute. Yes, I'm saying, do you see that in any of them, or are they just going to be Robin somewhere along the line, not Batman?
I mean, I think they're different. I don't know. They all bring so many different skill sets. There isn't any wide receiver on this team, maybe Wester, that can move like Zay Flowers can, that is as quick as Zay Flowers is. But Lane, there isn't anybody that can go up and get the ball, I think, size wise, like Lane can. Like that's a completely different situation, right? But Surratt is, I mean, he runs routes really well, works well all over the field. So to me, I mean, I wouldn't say if someone's going to challenge him, it sounds like it's going to be Lane, but I don't know, Mike. I still think Zay might be. I mean, there's a reason why he was a first round draft pick in the eyes of everyone in the NFL, and these guys fell in those other rounds. That usually gives you the longevity and an idea of how they work out. But Marcus Colston was drafted in the 7th round as a tight end, right? And he became one of the best, like put up some of the best stats in Saints history. So it is out there. It is quite possible that could happen. I mean, do you have a guy in mind that you were thinking of when you asked that question?
No, not really. John, did you have any thoughts?
I was gonna say the exact same thing that Jason said. Is I think they're just different. Zay is a one of a kind receiver. And you look at the other guys, they're all just different. And then I think a lot of what's going to come out this year is, the reports from camp on the tight ends, because we've been so tight end centric for so long. And the reports that are coming out is that Andrews is not playing well, and then you don't have a 2B, you don't have a likely type to go in there. So I think you're going to get a lot more opportunities for these wide receivers, and I think we're going to really see what we have in all of them. But again, I think this Flowers is in a different class, and everybody else is just different.
Well, let me ask
So
you guys
you're
another question. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
no, just real quick. I was just say, so it's unlikely that they're going to have 2 tight end sets as much this year. Is that what you're saying?
Oh God,
Yeah.
it's so terrible.
So we just
I disagree, by the way, about the tight ends. Disagree.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you in a second. Go ahead, John. What are you spouting off?
Yeah. So let's see who was behind the plate. We just lost our catcher. He got hit by the ball, and then the bat knocked his glove off, and
Broke his
probably
hand, and now that's the end of
probably.
that.
Yeah, Pozo. So Pozo's
Was it catcher's
out.
interference or
No,
what was it?
No, he took the foul ball and then got hit by the bat. No, was it catch? Oh, I guess it was catcher's interference. Yeah, so he's done. He got nailed right in the hand with a full swing. There
That's
is no way that he's okay. So
I've
Pozo's
never
out.
seen. I've
Nevaez
never
is coming
seen
back in the game.
I have never seen a team have more issues with healthy catchers over the last 3 or 4 years than the Baltimore Orioles. But anyway, we're going to go back to the Ravens here. So, I mean, just to comment on John's tight end situation, I would say that, I mean, I'm really high. One of my sleepers that I've kind of added in there, also maybe for fantasy football and for your deeper leagues there. We'll talk about that on Friday. Matthew Hibner. I am very high on Matthew Hibner. I think he might steal a lot of receptions this year. and potential situations out there with Andrews. So I still expect to see two wide receiver or two tight end sets as well. I'd have to look and see what they did out there with what Declan Doyle did in Chicago as well. Last question on the receivers. So, guys, tell me, I mean, do one of these guys to you, John, out, and let's talk about specifically the rookies, Surratt and Lane. One of those guys a bust candidate for you this year and going forward?
I don't think so. I don't think you can call either one of them a bust because they're. I mean, we have high hopes for them, but I don't think they came out. You grant like Zay or Travis Taylor, Rashad Bateman, or a Perryman, or these other guys that we drafted in the first round who had these such high expectations, and none other than Zay have really lived up to those expectations. Those guys drafted in the later rounds are kind of, you know what? If they perform, great. If not, you know what? It was a fourth, fifth round pick. It cost us, $1 million, and that's it. So I don't think that you're going to be able to label any of them a bust because their expectations aren't there.
I'll disagree. But Mike, do you? What are your thoughts? Either one of these guys a bust candidate?
I mean, I think I think if you're talking fantasy football, I'm not sure that any of them have a huge impact this year. And if one of them has a huge impact, the other one probably doesn't, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think there's enough passes to go around. I do think one of the two steps up. I think Lane maybe has bust potential of the two, but I really don't. Again, I hear what you're saying, John. That makes a lot of sense. Obviously, if you're a third or fourth round wide receiver, it's a lot less of a bust than if you're a first round pick and you don't perform up to the money that you're given for being a first round pick.
I mean, still, if you think about a third and a fourth round pick, mainly a third, I mean, it's still a pretty high pick, right? I mean, it's still considered valuable in the eyes of the NFL draft of those that are making the picks in the NFL. Um, I would say something tells me that the way that all of this went down, even though Surratt was drafted after Lane, I still think that the Ravens were shocked that Surratt was still there in the fourth. So if any of them, based off of what I read previously, I would say Lane has the opportunity to be more of a boom or a bust type player. But I'm not. I don't know. I don't have anything else to kind of base that off of. I think they both could have are going to have opportunities here to be very successful. So we'll have to wait and see. Okay, last question on the Ravens today. I want to know who is going to lead the 2026 Baltimore Ravens in sacks, Mike.
His name rhymes with Bendrickson, I think. He's a big fella. They just got him from the Bengals. Yeah.
The
Trey
Bungies?
Trey Hendrickson. I think he's been consistent. I know he's missed a lot of time recently, but I think it's going to make him real fresh, real hungry, and the guy's got a motor. I'm excited to see, and he just gets at. And I think Jesse Minter is going to put him in the spot to do what he does best, and that's get after the passer.
I mean, I will tell you, for the size of contract that man signed with and the money that the Ravens gave him, he better lead the team in sacks this year. I mean, that would be what I'd say. It's kind of a no-brainer for me. John, are you going to switch things up, or are you also going? What is that? Blame Hendrickson? Is that what you said, Mike?
Yeah, that's close.
I mean, I think it's going to be Hendrickson. I think, but I don't think Green's going to be far behind. I think Green's.
Jesus, criminate!
I figured you guys.
Because you and Mike Green are engaged doesn't mean you gotta come on here and mention him every show. Do you get paid? Like, do you have to mention his name a certain number of shows, to get a certain quota?
Yeah, something like that. I haven't talked about him in a while, and the last time we talked, I talked to Mike. He's like, I listened to the show, and I haven't heard my name in a while, so you got to start upping the use of my name. But no, I think though that, and I've read in other places too, where they're saying bringing in that other edge rusher on the opposite end is going to open up both the middle there, and having Matabike back is going to be huge. That I think, we could be surprised at who it is, because they're going to have to decide which side you're going to double, where you're going to chip, and one of the edge rushers is going to get, free. Oh.
Okay. I'm kind of hoping that that you're wrong, John, and Well, no, actually, I'm hoping you're right, but I hope that a lot of these sacks might come from the interior as well. I want to see Matabike hopefully recover, and at the very least, I don't really. I mean, I don't care if the defensive tackles get any sacks, as long as they are in the face of the quarterback all the time. If the edge guys end up getting them, perfect. Like again, get to them with 4. If you can get to them with 4, that's terrific. And I think that's the plan. I don't think you're going to see him going as crazy. Yes, John. What now?
Do you guys think we need to bring in another rusher, like
No,
a Joey Bosa or something like that?
no. Joey Bosa is what the. I mean, he's done. He's toast. Is that what the kids say? Toast these days.
He's
Cooked.
not.
Maybe.
He's not
Cooked.
skibbity. He's not skibbity enough for this team.
Yeah, I think not, probably, John. I don't know that they need an extra edge rusher. If someone gets hurt, then yeah, but if not, I think we're okay. The other, if we're talking sacks, Kyle Hamilton, like, what can let him come in there and do some damage. If he can have 5 sacks this year, I think that would be great. Like a Palomalu kind of thing going on where he can come in and disrupt from different places. I think watch what Minter does with him. I think he has an opportunity to have a handful of sacks this year as well.
Do you think, Mike, that he ends up playing a little bit more that linebacker spot, in and out, not necessarily like your pure linebacker until um, they're fully healthy in that linebacking core?
Yeah, I could see that happening until they have full faith in Buchanan maybe being completely healthy. I don't think they have a lot of trust. What's the Clemson kid's name? I don't think they have a ton of trust
Oh,
in.
Simmons. Is it Simmons? No, did I make that up?
Oh man,
Simpson. Simpson.
Yeah,
Simpson.
it's in Trenton Simpson. I don't think they love that guy. So like if he's in there next to Roquan, maybe you slide Kyle down there a little bit and give him some help.
Yeah. No, it sounds great. All right, that is all I have for the Baltimore Ravens this evening. John, can you give me an update on the Orioles right now?
They
Any
are
score?
they are winning 5-2. Young has looked pretty good. They got a ground ball past Pete at first base to score one, then the catcher's interference, and then he just walked the bases loaded. So bottom
Huh.
of the third, bottom of the third,
And how many outs?
2.
Okay, perfect.
He's only
All
at
right.
60. He's only at 60 pitches. So
Okay. Well, the Orioles did lose last evening, but that is not the biggest story. The biggest story is they lost to former Oriole, most recent trade away fella, Dean Kramer. And Dean was cooking, fellas. 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. What in the heck? So I'd like to say, oh, yeah, they made all the changes to him, or they just played the Baltimore Orioles offense, Mike.
Yeah, they
Heals
just played the
all
Orioles. The
wounds.
Orioles can't hit anybody. The Orioles can't. Jason, if I marched you out there in a Twins uniform tonight, I'm not sure the Orioles are scoring 7 runs. I'm
Sounds
not sure it's
painful.
happening.
Sounds
I know. I
painful.
just the at bats are painful to watch too. When you watch some of the guys struggling, I, I I just don't think we're a great offense because there's not a lot of continuity. Not a lot of like I said last episode, we're not passing the baton super well. We're not a big rally team. We scored a lot of runs. The other night when we had that big output of what we had 10 runs or 11 runs the other night. But that has been few and far between this year. How many blowout wins have the Orioles had this year? I don't
They
know.
haven't had many blowout losses either, but they haven't had any blowout wins. I can't tell you the last time they had a dominating win.
Yeah. So I mean that offense, and then Dean Kramer, give him some credit though. Like a lot of pitches that are on the corners. He wasn't living in the middle of the plate. He was throwing pitches that went from strike to ball and getting people to swing at him. He did a good job. And Dean has that in him, the bulldog in him. You could tell he knows how to turn up, as they say, because he would turn up in big games for the Orioles all the time if they needed a stopper over the last few seasons. And you could tell he was super motivated to get that win last night.
Yeah, outstanding. I mean, yeah, John, I mean, I was surprised, but I almost wasn't. I almost like I got tied up with somebody. I was going to place a bet down on Kramer winning last night just because I knew it was going to happen. I could have told you that was going to happen.
well, I mean, look at him. Look at him. He was a swinging bunt hit away from no hitting the Orioles through 7 innings. If he would have just let the catcher have that ball instead of taking it, they probably would have thrown Holiday out at first base, and he would have known the Orioles. But the one thing they were talking about on the broadcast, and you could, if you went back, and I did this, went back and watched where he was located on the mound, where his arm slot was with the Orioles versus where he was with last night with the Twins, there's a difference. The Twins adjusted his arm slot, they adjusted where he was standing on the rubber. And they were saying in the broadcast that that and then I think I saw it somewhere else too. They're saying that movement on his sinker then was was different with the new arm slot the Twins were having him throw out of, which caused him to be a little bit more effective. Now, again, he wasn't living middle of the plate. He wasn't hanging things and things like he was doing here. But does that have to do with where he was on the mound, where he's in the arm slot? That, like you said, Mike, that bulldog mentality, him wanting to prove that they made a mistake in trading him. Whatever the case is. But I really think that there may be something to what the Twins have kind of just not changed, but adjusted on him.
Bring your struggling pitchers, and they will no longer struggle after facing the Baltimore Orioles. So, according to Yahoo Sports, this brings the Orioles' chances of 10.4% to make the playoffs. Now, I don't know if that is accurate across the board. If you're asking my opinion, I do not think they're going to make the playoffs. Weirder things have happened. If they do make the playoffs, I guess anything can happen. But I would say that, I mean, we are just waiting for the inevitable to happen. Mike, do you think differently?
Do they have a better chance of finishing in last place in the AL East or making the playoffs? Because if you're watching the standings, Toronto is slowly just creeping up behind us, steady putting some wins together. I think they were like a half game back of us, maybe a game back of us tonight. Like, I think there's a better chance we finish in last place than we make the playoffs.
For sure. I mean, you're right. I mean, they're a half game behind us right now. They're 57 and 63 coming in tonight. We're 57 and 62. John, thoughts?
Kalshi odds are at 11. They're not a sponsor or anything. I just looked it up. But yeah, it's less than 10%. I just don't. Again, with how we're not hitting, with how we're not stringing together hits, with how it doesn't seem like I talked about the other night, how we're not changing our approaches at the plate. That's going to just continue to affect us throughout the season. And if we can't fix that next year and can't, change some of these things around and change our approach, it's just going to be a routine thing. And I think, they can't change that in 6 weeks.
I mean, and they've had better teams. They've looked a lot better in the previous years when they made the playoffs, and then it was not a very good stay in the playoffs. I cannot imagine this offense going to the playoffs and shocking the world. I just can't see it, unfortunately, up to this point. And a lot of it's due to, like, obviously they traded away Adley, who was a stable, high average type guy in the lineup. That was good. But they had Sam Basayo, who was also one of the most reliable offensive weapons, and he's still out. So, like, when you take pieces out like that, yeah, it's going to hurt. I mean, do I think they shouldn't have not traded Adley Rutschman and they would make the playoffs? No, I don't think that would have happened at all. I think if they were planning on making a run of the playoffs, they would have had to make a bunch of additions, and they decided not to. We've already been down that road and discussed all of that. Okay, so we are short on time, so we are going to skip on to our next segment. John, do you have my music? My exciting music for you two. Oh, John. Hey! In case you don't know what that is Dad Bod Feud. Okay, and Mike and John will be going against each other tonight on 3 categories. And we're going to start off. And again, I need to know your name, guys. Tell me when I ask the question. Tell your name if you want to try to answer the question. First one, I need to know, this has to do with receptions. The top 5 wide receivers to lead the Ravens in receptions in the history of the Ravens. Most
So-
receptions by a wide
Mi-
receiver in
Mike.
history of yes.
So I get to do the whole Mike thing.
Yep. You may answer the question.
Derek Mason.
Derek Mason is number 1 all time. Now I need you to name me 1, 2, 3, 4 more players.
I will
Or
pass.
you may pass it to John.
I'll pass to John.
Yes. Take that. That's a shot in the
John,
pills.
you can do it, John.
Can I pass it back to Mike?
We've already established that you cannot do that.
You can't double pass, huh?
This is the 3rd time we've played this game. You know
Stop
that.
looking at your screen, John. It better
John,
be the
look at
Oriole
Jason.
game.
Look
That's
at
the
Jason
Orioles
over here.
game. Okay.
Come on.
So the wide receivers with receptions or just
Yes, wide
receptions?
receivers who have the most receptions by wide receivers in the history of the Ravens. Top 5 list. I need the next 4.
Okay, Steve Smith Sr.
Ooh. Actually, I did want to know the top 6. He's number 5.
Okay. Let's see here. Is
No,
Quadre
he's
Is-
number 6. You got that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So there's 5 more. So Derek Mason was number 1, and then Steve Smith Sr. is number 6.
Correct. So there's 4 more.
There's 4 more. Is Quadre Ishmael on this list?
He is not. He is right outside that. That is strike 1.
Okay, let's see. Who else? Is Hollywood Brown on this list?
He is not. He is right off this list. But he is above Qadri Ishmael. So you have 2 strikes, John, and you still need to give me 4 players.
4 players.
Mike has
Um,
sabotaged you.
Yes, he has. Let me see here.
What are you seeing? Are you seeing your screen?
My hands. Yeah,
So
I'm
you
seeing-
can't check.
Dirty cheater.
He's looking in his mind, Jason. He's looking in his
I'm-
mind.
All right, 5, 4,
Let's
3,
go with
2.
let's go with
1.
Zay
Yeah,
Flowers.
That is number 2 on the list. This is how pathetic the wide receivers all time.
I know. I know.
3 more, John. But you got to answer quickly.
Is Michael Jackson on this list?
He is not, and you lose potentially. Mike, I need you to name me either the 3rd, 4th, or 5th player on this list.
Is Anquan Bolden on there?
He is not on this
Oh,
list.
phooey.
So
John wins.
John backdoors his way to victory.
You know what? I feel like we did this when we played games.
We did not. You're a
prior.
liar. You are dirty, dirty liar. Okay. Number 3 is Mark Clayton. Number 4 is Torrey Smith, and number 5
Torrey
is
Smith.
Travis Taylor.
Really?
Embarrassing, embarrassing.
Torrey
See,
Smith, I was my other option, but
I didn't think Torrey Smith was here long enough.
All right. I have so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to know these are 6 players. Major League Baseball all-time hits in the playoffs by individual players.
John,
John,
we'll go with Derek Jeter.
he is number 1. Would you like to play or make John or make Frisky suffer?
I will make Mike Frisky do
Suffer?
this one.
Okay.
Yes.
oh,
He
good.
would like to pass, Mike.
Yeah.
I heard. All-time playoffs or World Series?
Playoffs.
How about A-Rod? Is he on there?
He is not. He did not play in a
Well,
lot of
that
playoffs,
sucks.
Mike. That is strike 1. Mike, think of teams. Think of teams that have played in a lot of playoff games. One specifically.
Yeah. How about Joe DiMaggio?
No, incorrect. Strike 2.
All right, and let's go with Lou Gehrig.
And that is incorrect.
All right, beautiful.
All right, John. I need at least 1 more.
Let's say Mr. October.
You are incorrect. Mike wins somehow. I don't even know
what.
how that even happened.
See,
You guys-
but I got one right though. Like that, I don't think that.
So
should
did
be-
Mike.
Right, I know. I don't think that's how this should work.
But that's how it
That's
works.
how family. Have you ever seen
Is-
Family Feud, John? That's how it works.
Is Jorge Posada on this list?
He is on this list. So
Is
Bernie
he really?
Williams,
Bernie Williams.
was number 2.
okay.
Well, why didn't you? If you know these guys, why didn't you say
Well,
it?
because I had Reggie Jackson was I thought he played in more playoff games than those guys did. So I was thinking Reggie
Interesting.
Jackson, then Bernie, then Posada, then maybe like Tino Martinez or something. I don't know.
Tino did not make the list. Um, let's see. So Bernie, then Altuve, Manny Ramirez, and Jorge Posada, and tied with Posada is Molina out in St. Louis. So
Yeah.
That is,
is
they're all
Really?
pretty new players, relatively speaking. That's where I was kind
there's
of
also
stumped.
more playoff games, Mike. So
Right.
you got to think that
Yeah.
they more. Okay. And there's that whole other division series. There wasn't one in the past. Okay. I need to know. This one is food because it's dad bods. According to the U.S. people, I want to know the top 6 for most popular comfort foods in America.
John,
John,
fried chicken.
fried chicken is number 3. Would you like to play or pass?
Um,
Come
let's
on,
play.
Tubby, you can
Let's
play.
Let's
Perfect.
play.
Awesome.
Yes.
Let's play.
Do it,
All
Johnny
right.
boy.
I'm gonna say one of your favorites, Jason, meatloaf.
Meatloaf is not on this list. That is a strike one.
Man,
What?
I'm rooting for you, John. I'm rooting for you,
Okay.
buddy.
So, like comfort foods, are biscuits and gravy on this list?
Okay, so hold on. Before you answer, let me just clarify. Even though this is comfort foods, my definition of comfort foods is something you can think junk food in general. That
Oh,
might help
okay.
both of you guys.
Okay. So, what about pizza?
Pizza's number 1.
Potato chips.
That is strike 2, John.
Huh. What about popcorn?
That is not on the list, and you are out of strikes. Mike, if you can give me number 2, number 4, number 5, or number 6, you are victorious, my
Oh
friend.
my gosh, so much pressure.
Is that
I
why
mean,
you're
ice
sweating?
cream has got to be a comfort food. Ice cream's got to be on the list.
I mean, I feel like I should tell you guys no desserts are on this list. I gave John a reprieve before he answered his question. I'm going to give you one. There are no desserts
Okay.
on this list.
Comfort food. How about no desserts? Man, that's my comfort food right there. Let's go with. How about chicken pot pie?
No, sir. John is victorious. He backed his way into another victory. Actually, he didn't back his way. All right. So, no one said burgers. No one said French fries. That one kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Pasta. Oh, I hate
Yeah, I
pasta.
hate
Oh, I
pasta.
thought about that, but I didn't think that was a comfort food. That just sits in your stomach like a
That's
ball.
terrible. Mac and cheese
Uncomfort food. Discomfort
Okay.
food.
Yeah, I could do the mac and cheese.
and
But
grilled
that's
cheese
pasta,
was
though.
7th.
But that's pasta.
Yeah, not
though.
really. No, mac and cheese is not pasta. It's pasta in it, but it's not pasta. It's a separate category, I would assume. I don't need any of that crap. John, tell everyone where they can find us while we are moving on to the next thing.
So you can find us on the Spark Podcast Network at sparkpodcast.com. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart. And then please like and follow or subscribe on YouTube. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us grow the show. So again, then you can find us on social media, Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on Facebook and Instagram, crabcake_sports on X. And you can email us at dadbodscrabcakesandsports@gmail.com.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so we're gonna do. We're just gonna run down a couple other things here, just to kind of let everybody know kind of what our thoughts are on and whatnot. I mean, as the baseball season gets into what about another month and a half or so left? Right now, if the playoffs were to start today, the Tampa Bay Rays, with the best record in baseball, would be coming out of the East. The White Sox, which no one chose on this podcast, would be coming out of the Central. And the Houston Astros will be coming out of the West. Leading the wild cards would be the Yankees and the Red Sox, and the Texas Rangers. So those are the 3 wild cards out of that is for the American League. In the National League, if it were to start today, the Milwaukee Brewers will be winning the Central, the Dodgers winning the West, the Braves bouncing back this season to win the East, and the Cubs are running away with the top wild card spot. Underneath that would be the Diamondbacks and the Phillies, but with San Diego right behind them. Anything surprising there, Mike? Besides, like that's jumping out, or any crazy predictions you can think of?
I mean, it's not crazy. I don't think that too much is going to change between now and October. Um, I am interested to see who that final team is in the American League because I think the way Boston's been playing, and I was kind of going to talk about this when we talked about the Orioles. I'd have a different feeling about the Orioles if everything was rounding into form. And you kind of hit on that when you said Basayo was still out with an injury. We traded Rutschman away. Things are not coming together for this Orioles team at this moment, besides the starting pitching, which is playing particularly well. With the Red Sox, you have Adley making his debut tonight, I believe, and then you have Roman Anthony, who should be back at some time here at the end of the year, and you have all that momentum, and that to me is going to push them over the line into the playoffs. They have already probably solidified that second wild card spot, and they might even catch the Yankees for that first wild card spot. Um, if you had to ask me with a gun to my head right now, who would make that final playoff spot? I think obviously it depends on who wins the Central and who wins the West because that's actually fluctuating in with those wild card teams. But I would say the last wild card team is probably going to be the Cleveland. I just think that they have a good combination of pitching and get on base guys that they'll find a way to win enough games just to squeak into playoffs. John, do you want to talk National League?
I mean I agree with you, Mike, on the American League. I think I said when we did our show, I think I said the Astros were going to get it, and you guys all said the Mariners.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
I said the Astros. I had faith, but I think the National League. I mean, clearly the Dodgers are the favorite. I mean, you picked up best, the best pitcher in baseball at the trade deadline. You move some other pieces around. But I mean, you look at just after that, then you kind of just have Milwaukee and these other guys look good, but I just don't see anybody catching the Dodgers. I just think the Dodgers are gonna just run away with it and then get to the World Series, and then if it game 3, 4, if it goes longer than 5, anything can happen.
I don't think any of the division winners change like where they're at. The closest one I think could potentially be the West with Houston and Texas playing tight. I mean, they're only a half game separating those guys. I do think that the other one will get that wild card spot with the way things have been falling. Could be wrong. That could change. But I think the Padres can make things very interesting too, especially because they do play the Diamondbacks down the stretch too, and that could also and those are in front of them. It's ironically enough though, Mike, that you say Cleveland because they're behind everyone in the Central, but it's all like bam, 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 right? So for me, I don't have any faith in Minnesota. I've told you guys this the whole time. I could be wrong. Um, yeah, Cleveland was the one that I originally said I should probably stick with it. I don't know what the Tigers are doing, but it's annoying because they got rid of their best player and look what happened.
It's like that the
I
Orioles are
don't
doing.
like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
don't
mean, it's
like it at
funny
all.
because you're right. Because the Cleveland's fourth place in the AL Central right now. They're at 58 and 61, but Detroit's at 58 and 60. Minnesota's at 59 and 61, and the division leading White Sox are only at 61 and 56. That's still anybody's division. One of those four teams can all still win that division. I think you could give them a legitimate chance to win that AL Central. But how about the White Sox, man? Give them some credit. I mean, that's probably the story if it wasn't for the Dodgers being the Dodgers or maybe the Brewers playing lights out again. Um, Man, the White Sox have been just a fun team to watch. Anybody could have had more. Is it Murakami? Is that his name?
Yep,
Anybody could have had him probably in the off
Morikawa.
season. Morikawa, sorry. Anybody could have had him in the off season. He's just mashing bombs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, yes, they made some interesting moves, but I don't know what happened there. I mean, I had Cleveland winning that division. I just don't. I'm okay with Chicago, I guess. I mean, I can say I was wrong. I think I'm wrong. Like that was something else. Um, okay. So we're going to save some of the other stuff for later. We want to talk about the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, turning. We'll save that for next show. But Mike, I want you, before we sign off here, I would like you to give me a dad joke of the day.
Oh, goody. Well, Jason, I know that deep down in your heart, you're a party planner, and you always have been, right? Like you're always the guy who gets everybody together. I think back in the day when we lived across the street from one another in Parkville, you used to plan the Jello shot party and the wine party, which I stumbled across the street home to a couple times.
Got in trouble.
Yep, at least once. But that being said, do you know how you would organize a party in outer space?
Oh boy. No, Mike.
You
I
would
do
you
not.
would plan it. You would plan it. That's how you would organize a party in outer space.
Oh, it's some terrible stuff, guys. Oh, good job, John.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. Well, that is all I got for this evening. We're trying to keep the show as close to an hour as possible, guys. But you can join us again. All three of us will be back on Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. But also, on Friday we have our second fantasy football show. I'd love for you guys to join in. Type your fantasy football questions. I know a lot of you are going to have drafts coming up. Let us know what questions you have. You can also post it on our Facebook page. So Facebook page, join us live in the chat. We'll get something posted up there for Friday as well. But that's all I got, guys. Again, we are proudly part of the Spark Podcast Network. And we'll see you guys on Friday. For Mike Frisky, for John Lanscraner, I'm Jason Weisbecker. You guys have a great evening.
Don't forget to subscribe to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your free podcasts. And while you're at it, leave us a review. It really helps us out. We're trying to spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes actions, memes, and bad sports takes. You can find us at Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on Instagram, and Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on our Facebook page. Until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and never miss the game.